After years of trying to make a name for himself, Wayne Player only gets to experience the thrill of the Masters tournament from his home. But how did this unexpected twist come about? As the son of three-time Masters winner Gary Player, Wayne tried his hand at professional golf, entering 17 PGA tournaments. But despite his best efforts, he could not replicate his father's success and was eliminated from each competition. He was more of a celebrity figure who lived under the shadow of his father's accomplishments. After retiring from the sport, Wayne focused on the health and fitness industry. However, he's still known in the golfing world for two cringe-worthy moments at the Masters that he'd rather forget. These moments changed the course of his career forever. The problem with the check. As the third of Gary Player's 6 children, Wayne often teed it up with his dad and eventually competed against him in golf tournaments. In 1982, Wayne and Gary made history by competing in both the US and British Opens simultaneously, being the first father and son to do so. In recent years, he has established himself as a respected media figure, having co-hosted a Golf Channel show and made guest appearances on other networks' programming. As the first month of the new year came to a close, Wayne Player found himself in legal trouble and behind bars. The son of the golfing legend had been accused of attempting to pull a fast one on a Georgia homeowner during Masters Week in 2018. It was alleged that Player had tried to use a fraudulent check to pay for a leased home, but the bank had denied the payment due to insufficient funds. It was unusual for a situation like that, so the homeowner decided to play it cool. But despite the homeowner's attorney making numerous attempts to contact Player and even sending a legal letter, it seemed that Player had no intention of paying for the luxurious accommodations, which would have only cost a cool $499 a night for just 2 nights. As the investigation continued and Player faced charges of fraud, the golfing community was left to speculate on the outcome of this scandal. Will Wayne be able to restore his reputation and come out on top? Or will these accusations be the downfall of his career? As the summer months passed, it became clear that Wayne Player had no intention of paying the Georgia homeowner the $1,000 he had promised to settle their debt. Frustrated and fed up, the homeowner reported the matter to authorities in July. The homeowner was furious that a man like Wayne Player would try to play a fast one on him. But Player didn't stick around to face the consequences of his actions. Despite knowing that there was a warrant out for his arrest, he fled to his home country of South Africa. It wasn't until January of the following year that he was finally taken into custody. On January 18th, Wayne Player was detained by customs officials during a transit at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. Since it was a holiday weekend, Player had to wait in a Clayton County jail facility until the following Wednesday to post bail and be freed. As the legal drama unfolded, Wayne Player finally admitted to his wrongdoing. After spending 5 nights in jail, Player was released by Columbia County on January 23, 2019. However, he claims that the fraud charges were eventually withdrawn since the homeowner received the $1,000 they were owed. According to the golfer, he had suffered a mental lapse when he failed to follow through on his promise to pay the Georgia homeowner the $1,000 to settle their debt. As the dust settles on this explosive situation, one can't help but wonder, was justice truly served? Or did Player manage to wriggle his way out of trouble once again? The headbutt. This matter was a different, unconnected source of stress for Player, who was also dealing with a dispute involving services rendered during the 2018 Masters. Player was also sued in civil court by ex-client Todd Feltz, who alleged that Player acted maliciously by headbutting him during an altercation in Augusta the previous year. Player pleaded guilty to simple violence for what he characterized as a nudge with my head, not a full-blown headbutt, and the punishment was lowered to disturbing the peace and a $300 fine. Last year's increase in ticket prices was the main reason he couldn't fulfill the $6,850 per person package that Feltz had purchased from him, which included badges for the first round of the Masters and cross paths with his father. The complainant, Todd Feltz, claimed that Wayne had promised him and his wife a personalized Green Jacket Masters Experience 2018, tickets to the Par 3 competition, a series badge to the first Masters round, and a chance to meet Gary Player were all part of the package. When Wayne didn't provide as agreed, Feltz approached him. Feltz was understandably upset that his investment wasn't yielding the desired results. The badges cost money, but instead of ponying up, Wayne headbutted Feltz. Instead of a headbutt, as Feltz claimed, Wayne alleged it was closer to a bump. The civil claim against him is pending, and Player has reacted with a slander claim against Feltz. The campaign was open to everyone, linked to Wayne's self-described role as commissioner of the Player Amateur Tour. a venue for amateur golfers to share scores and play against one another. It was around this period that the issue with felts happened. But this wasn't the only incident Gary was involved in. There was another incident. This one was more precarious and highly volatile. The Masters ban. When the 2021 Masters began, there was a second incident on the first tee during the ceremony for honorary starters. Lee Elder, who broke the tournament's color barrier in 1975, was honored for his bravery and achievements as a trailblazer by being invited to tee off alongside Jack Nicklaus and Gary Player, two of the tournament's most illustrious participants. Though the occasion was heartwarming, it was marred by the fact that Wayne Player, acting as his father's caddy, stood behind Elder during his presentation with a box of Encore golf balls in a ridiculous attempt at clever advertising. Amid that high-profile golf tournament, Wayne Player found himself at the center of a scandal when he engaged in behavior that drew attention away from the legendary Lee Elder. Understandably, Player's actions received a lot of scrutinies, and he ultimately apologized to Elder for trying to steal the show. Tragically, due to his old age, Elder was unable to play the ceremonial tee shot and passed away 6 months later. Not only did fans take notice of the incident, but the general public also did. Wayne claims that Augusta National has revoked his badge and banned him from the grounds for the remainder of the season. Throughout the situation, Player apologized multiple times, expressing remorse for his actions and understanding their profound impact. While it's clear that Player's behavior was inappropriate, he is taking steps to make amends and learn from his mistakes. The chances of Player receiving mercy from the Masters are low. He had done his part by apologizing to Elder, who stated that he was not happy about the issue before he passed away. Only time will tell if he can restore his reputation and regain the trust of the golfing community. It may have been that Wayne Player found himself a seemingly innocent decision. The golfer explained that he decided to bring a batch of his father's preferred brand of golf balls to the tournament, explaining that he thought other people might be curious about them. Encore was involved in a business transaction with Player's father, and Wayne had even helped finalize the deal. After the stunt, Wayne revealed that he got about 50 texts. 40 of those texts were hailing his marketing genius, while the remaining 10 were appalled by what he had done. Upon realizing the potential conflict of interest, Player submitted a letter to Augusta National and Masters chairman Fred Ridley, apologizing for his actions and arguing against his suspension. According to Player, he received a quick reply from the committee. The response read, "You know, we appreciate you reaching out and apologizing. We accept your apology, but we are not changing our position. We are not going to allow you back. You ruined a special moment in the history of the game of golf." When Gary Player was embroiled in a similar controversy for wearing a Golf Saudi emblem at the honorary starter ceremony, Wayne had a front row seat from his couch at home. Social media users pointed out that Gary Player was carrying a golf bag with the Saudi golf emblem. Advertisers have long seen value in linking themselves to honorary starters. Jack Nicklaus and Tom Watson were covered in them. A subsidiary of the Saudi Arabian government, the Saudi Golf Enterprise has been met with widespread opposition over its plans to launch a professional golf league to compete with the PGA Tour and the European Tour. Wayne Player, though, still harbors a desire to play in Augusta National someday, despite his negative emotions towards the game and his exclusion from it. Despite his initial struggles and setbacks, Wayne Player has made a name for himself in the golfing industry. While he is yet to achieve the same level of success in professional golf as his father, Wayne has proven that it's never too late to pivot and find success in a new pursuit. As he watches the Masters tournament from the comfort of his home, he can look back on his career with pride and the knowledge that he's made the most of his opportunities. If you enjoyed this video about what Gary Player has been hiding about his son, check out the video on the screen now, or the one we posted below, because we're sure you'll like that one too. See you there!